Hey, hey, welcome back to Second Run Gaming. I'm Austin. We're here with Massive Chalice. I'm hovering sadly over our poor Nicky boy. Nicholas was our standard of the Crucible, and he died valiantly, took out a bulwark, got a wrinkler all the way down to 1 health, took 2 hits, gained 10 years off of his already old 65-year-old self in the process, and still survived just to be cut down by this bulwark over here. But we've killed him. We've killed every other cadence foe in the area. We've got some enemies chilling out over here still, so we're just going to try and take them out. I'm going to move Anders just over to the rest of the crew, and we'll see if we can't get this sorted out. So yeah, it's definitely a cradle. I'm going to try and just get him over there quickly, but not too quickly that we rush into something, because I think there's just going to be a cradle there, but you never know if there's going to be a couple more enemies. Last thing we'd want is Charlotte to run in head first and there's like 1 or 2 wrinklers just chilling ready to go, because then she's definitely done. Sweet. That's a great spot for the cradle to be, because both of our hunters can get good attacks on that. So I'm going to keep Anders where he is. Just fire off a quick shot. Critical too. Fucking great. Man, even though he's drunk right now, because he's a reveler, he's doing okay. So I'm feeling alright. Sharon too, not bad, 18. With that, we can pretty much at least start seeing the end of it. I don't think anybody can quite reach the cradle, but if we move them all up enough, fingers crossed. Yeah, no other enemy is popping out, so we get them up there. Then we're pretty primed to just take out those seeds. Probably have Anders or Sharon take out the cradle just ranged, and then we'll have all of our melee units focus on getting those seeds out of the way. So I'm gonna do that with Anders, hopefully. Hell yeah. Good job. And then I'll have Tragan focus on this isolated seed first. Wonderful. Charlotte and Sidara both have nicknames. Sharon actually doesn't, so I'm going to try with her just so she can work on getting a nickname, because she's the only one, aside from Anders, who has a relic at least, that doesn't have one. If we can get a relic from Sharon, Anders isn't going to get a relic because he's already holding one, so getting a nickname for him is great for notoriety, but it's not really going to help us mechanically. I'm going to try and get Sharon to get these 3 kills. And, that probably won't get her a nickname, but it'll at least get her closer to it. Hell yeah.
All good things require sacrifice, some more than others.
Well done.
So a massive victory, 25 kills. We have defended the Crucible. Corruptions in the salt stacks has been subdued. Unfortunately, if you see at the bottom here, Nicholas Marquand was vanquished, but he got a kill. He got a kill. And he was just a little piddly level 2, 65, now 75-year-old guy who was just training people. And he was all alone, and he made it until we'd almost caught up to him, just by sheer luck, honestly. Sidara got to level 6 too. I'm going to make her do prime target, since What's-Her-Butt has log jam. She didn't use it, but anyway, it's nice to, switch him up. And I think that Sidara is pretty hardy. She's got a lot of health, so I think that having her being able to taunt to distract mostly from people using that time to attack Tragan, like when we take out those cradles and the seeds pop up, that might be really helpful. So yeah, we've got a pretty old Vanguard unit now. Sharon and Anders definitely are going to be with us for another couple battles, but at this point, Sidara, Tragan, and Charlotte have all gone past the 50-year mark. So, I would love to have another battle with each and every one of them, but we'll see. Anyway, moving on, we now have to pick a new standard for our Crucible. So, yep, condolences. Standard Nicholas Marquand has died heroically in battle at the age of 75. The standards never die in battle. That's like the thing. So, in a way, it was kind of cool that happened. Okay, River, who is new. He just I'm gonna level up these guys real quick. We got Charles in here, Charles and River. It's nice. Yeah, see our Liu line of guys thankfully are ready to be in the Vanguard. We've got our top 5 Vanguards here. I don't really want to throw any of them as a standard, but Dragos is actually really good because I loved his personality traits. Pessimistic is good because it means our shot percentage is lower, which is okay because it means that I'll see an 80% and it'll actually be a 90%. I'm always okay with that. Optimistic seems terrible because it's the opposite. And then he's an Avenger and a Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf isn't great, but you know, sometimes you do kind of jump in where you're split up in battle. I think we've had that happen once so far, and it is really helpful that their stats are boosted during that. It's nice to have the Pack Hunter personality because that means your stats are boosted when you're in a group, but it's more beneficial in hairy scenarios if someone has the Lone Wolf trait. So I think we're going to throw him in there. He's also got a reduced lifespan and he's already 38, so chances are he's not going to be around for too long. So I might as well get my use out of him while I can. Alright, just taking a quick look at our keeps. The Van Houten's line has 2 kids in there right now. One of them aged 10, so in just about 5 years, probably in time for the next battle, we'll be able to maybe phase out one of the Lius and or even maybe one of the Caberjacks to see and have 3 hunters, see how that works, and bring in a new line. The Liu household still does not have any kids, so there's a likelihood that what we may have to do pretty soon is yeah, pick one of our younglings here to lead up the Regency. Nobody is in the Mark 1 household, but I think at this point it's because Meek is 74 and just hanging on. And we have those 2 kids in the Raiden household, but I'm happy that we did those adoptions because they still haven't had any other kids beyond that.
We've got something for you.
I doubt it's something you'll expect.
Oh, okay. Relics in time. Charles Liu has barged into the throne room and can't stop babbling. I've had the most wondrous dream. There was a full moon and I was standing above the chalice and I jumped in, but instead of being transported to a battle, I was sent to another time, and I found an heirloom from my family that I thought was lost ages ago. It was so real that your mind blanks out as you realize the moon is full tonight. What do you do? Oh boy. Well, we have 2 options. 1, we can allow Charles to transcend space and time in search of this relic, or 2, we can forbid Charles from transcending space and time. This is a hard one for me to choose because we've had 2 scenarios in which I've been given the option of putting someone in the chalice. You'll remember Evie Raiden, one of the first Raidens ever, is still missing because she went into the chalice. And then, what, like maybe 50 or 60 years later, we had to put a baby in the chalice to try and save it. And that didn't work. Well, the baby survived, but the mom died still in the chalice. So we're 0 for 2 as far as putting things in the chalice is a good idea. That being said, we've only got 2 options here, and it seems like Charles is really set. It's risky because our Liu line is already light, but I do like the idea of getting a relic, and I do like the idea of giving the chalice a 3rd shot. I think if something goes wrong here, we can probably bet that in general it's bad to put people in the chalice, but I mean, 3rd time's the charm, right? Fingers crossed. Yeah. Whoosh. Charles jumps into the chalice and is whisked away in an explosion of energy. As the smoke clears, you hope that this journey doesn't take too long. Charles Liu has been removed from your retinue. So Charles is missing, but hopefully not forever. Fingers crossed, maybe he comes back with Evie. Or a relic. Or that baby. I don't know. Ooh. We lost somebody. I want to look. I want to see. Nicholas Marquand. Didn't we lose him? We have 2 Nicholases? Benny Marquand, Adrian Liu, Robin of the Sage Rights Guild. This is when we fought the battle. Nicholas Marquand died at 75, and another Nicholas Marquand died at 55 or 59. I guess we had two Nicholases. Huh. I'm gonna go ahead really quick, just because we did send one of our Lius off to certain death, to just check the status of our houses. So yeah, it's still, man, we're still really in dire straits. I'm dumb. So you got Anders and Sharon in our vanguard for the Liu line, and then we've got Bob and Keeson, and that is it. That's our whole Liu household. We've got a decent amount of Marquands, but we're actually running into a risky spot to where if our regent doesn't pass away soon, most of our Marquands are old. River's the only young one. And then the Raidens are back up to 4. They've got 2 in the keep too, so I'm feeling better about that. Charlotte is still hanging on at 73 years of age. Fucking crazy. And Luciola has passed away at 77. So now our Sage Rights Guild is straight up empty. Which is tough because I still don't really want to add anybody. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're so light on people that we cannot really afford to lose anybody. Except maybe Dan. He's dim-witted, he's got arthritis. He hasn't really done much of anything, and we've got a lot of Marquands. A lot. And I think that is what I'll do. Nah, fuck it. I think right now, even though I love the Sage Rights Guild, we're okay on research. We've been researching well. What we really need is people.
Send word to the
And see, yeah, we're losing people left and right.
Already did.
So Jason Raiden has passed away at 71. So we've got to pick a new Raiden to lead the house. We're getting kind of fucked on fertility too. Like Sidara and Charlotte both have low fertility, and so it's got to be Baba and Trevor, which is going to be anyway, but still, it sucks to not have much to choose from. So Trevor has max HP and good XP. Trevor's a good one to take in a battle once Charlotte kicks the bucket, though he is a reveler. And then Baba is strong-willed, quick study, so he's got XP gain as well, but he's slow. And his accuracy's bad, and he's sluggish. It's going to be Trevor. Because we need good kids. And then this is why I almost appointed Gertie to the Sage Rights, but we need partners. She does not have great traits, but we do not have a lot to choose from, and we need kids. So it's gotta be Gertie. Fingers crossed we can get more than just my 2 adopted Raidens in there. And yeah, we're coming up around year 150 in a couple decades, and we're hitting that rough patch. So the knitting may be a little messy, but a full set of experience scarves are finished. Your heroes can increase their experience gains with this smart accessory and make up for time on the bench, which is awesome. We 100,000% need to. I know there's some cool stuff in here that are just popping up. We can do the Wonder Pants now, which is great. But we've got to discover new heroes, I think. We only get 5 heroes right now with the discovery. If we spend 16 more years doing a boost, we get 2 additional heroes. I think right now with how light we are, we just need more heroes to throw some people into the Sage Rights Guild, probably to throw someone into the Crucible soon, probably to get some regents. We saw some good stuff just happen, followed immediately by some really bad sad stuff. So Charlotte Raiden has died at the age of 77. 77. What a badass. However, the legend will survive in the bloodline relics baptized in our champion's active heroism. Keep note, the Raidens have no relic, so this is the Raiden's first relic, and I'm so stoked that the royal court is prepared to execute the will of our fallen hero. So Charlotte leaves behind the Oak Splitter. Fuck yeah. It does a bunch of damage. It's tempting to give it to Sidara, but I'm hoping that if Sidara passes away, she'll leave behind a relic too, since she has a nickname. So I'm actually not going to give it to her. Baba we could take into battle, but actually Koinen, which is a terrible name, has reached age. So let's look at what they've got. Not great. Increased strength though. Balon is 12 and has great traits. So I'm going to give Oak Splitter to Balon. And he's going to be our relic holder. And just hopefully we won't have to fight for 3 more years, and then Balin will be of age.
With all that comfort around you.
And David Liu, Regent of Reed, has
I doubt
died.
anything can make death comfortable.
That's honestly okay. He hadn't been having kids for a while. Sharon and Anders, in my opinion, are just a little bit too old at this point to probably have a bunch of kids, and we need more people. So I'm going to look at Keeson and Bob. So Keeson's nearsighted, but has some increased dexterity, which is good. Pessimistic and Adventure, both good as well. Bob is also nearsighted and has worse stuff. So Keeson is going to be our regent. We don't have a lot of choices anymore, which is just crazy to see. It's kind of nice because we're only going to have to throw one person into battle probably from now on for the Liu line if we want to, so that Houghtonist line will kind of take some of the weight off of that. Alania is still probably our best bet. I think that she was the last guy's regent partner as well, but I think she has decent traits. They're not great, but it's something. So we'll see if they can't get a couple more people into the Liu line, because they've only got one person in their keep right now. The Raidens have 2, the Houghtnesses have 1, and the Marquands. Meek is 81. Oh my god, like, it's great. But I'm starting to realize now that maybe appointing the person with longevity to the keep, that's not what I meant to click, is a bad idea. I want to see if Meek has that trait. Yeah, longevity, long lifespan. It's probably, in retrospect, a bad move, especially because she's literally only had 1 kid. But she's gonna live for a super long time. I think people with longevity are better to just take into battle, or appoint maybe to the standards or the Stage Rights Guild, but I'm gonna keep them away from the Crucible in the future. I mean, not the Crucible, the keeps. Okay, so this is kind of a tough choice, but not super tough, but a little difficult, because both of these territories, actually, the Sage Rights doesn't have any cadence on it. We do get a 19-year-old alchemist, but our Raiden Keep land gets us a 26-year-old hunter, and it's already got 1 spot of cadence on there. So in actuality, that's a no-brainer. We definitely have to go there. Okay, so everybody's still rocking it. Tragan is alive. Sidara is alive, which is honestly, our people are starting to live longer, which is great. But yeah, everybody's over 40 now. We've got 1 new person to bring in, and ideally it'd be a Caberjack because of their Raiden line. And Balon is old enough now to enter the fray. And actually, but yeah, Jess is old enough as well, and she could start working on the line for them. I can also just focus on having Anders, and I can move Sharon away. That's a possibility. We've got Seeds, Lapses, and Twitchers. Sharon's details. Decreased XP, decreased movement range because she's slow. So yeah, both of these guys are slow right now. I think it's important to get Balon in there. Oh, it's a cool fucking relic. It's important to have at least 1 alchemist. So I think for right now, we're gonna replace Sharon with Jess, so that we can start getting the Van Houteness line into battle as well. I think that works. because we are going to want to have someone set up in the Van Houten's line to take over that keep once their regent passes away, but Jess is their first kid, so she's not going to be the one most likely that's going to be able to do that. All right, we're ready. And we've got 3 relics in play now. Each of our original households has a relic, and it looks like the Raidens are well on their way to potentially having 2. We've got a Liu in search of a second for them, so we don't really need Sharon to find that. And then we'll have the Van Houtenesses working on their relic now too. Before we do that, I'm going to switch this over to the experience scarf, I think, for Anders. And now we're ready to go.
Everybody here? All good? Okay. Now hit them fast before they know what's happening.
So since Jess has the stealth ability, I'm gonna just kind of run her up immediately just to see what's there. Okay, immediately a bunch of enemies. They haven't spotted Jess though, which means they're not gonna spot Anders if he stealth moves. He's so fucking slow that he can barely move. Oh my god. But so basically I'm going to move all these guys up a little bit, but really no farther than where Charlotte is right now, just so they don't trigger any of those enemies. And we will stealth Anders even though they can barely move. Yeah, I really just, slow has got to be one of the worst traits out there, just because of how much it actually impacts your strategy. Because you try and keep everybody in a pack, but if someone's moving that is that much of a snail's pace, like, oh my god. So I think I saw there were seeds, lapses, and then twitches. So twitches are the ones that we're going to have to watch out for. Lapses aren't good either because they do drain that experience. But I mean, we'll make it work. Flask shot, unfortunately, doesn't really work super well right here. I think that we can use this as a good opportunity to get... We'll have Sidara do it because she's older and has more health. But she's going to be a little ballsy, and never mind. She needed to be one further over. In which case, I'm actually going to have Jess go over here and reveal herself. Okay. We obviously got to focus on these lapses. Gonna move Balon here. Since they're so far away, they're not gonna really be able to do too much, but I'm gonna have Balon charge. Hopefully that'll stun the lapse, and then that took out that seed. Awesome. Yeah, there's a bunch of lapses. And they're all spread out just enough to where like that explosive thing doesn't work. So I guess I'm gonna have Jess take out one of them, hopefully. Oh, so close. And Sidara actually can't do anything, and she can't even taunt anybody quite yet. So I'm gonna have her just move up forward so that next turn she can be a little bit more useful. And unfortunately we're gonna have to do the exact same thing for Tragan. And the exact same thing for Anders, except that Anders literally can't even move. I'll have him move forward one space, one entire space, because that's what he can work with. And I'm actually going to have him focus on trying to take out these seeds, because that's all he has. God damn it, Anders. I'm already happy that we switched out Sharon and got somebody else, just because of how slow they are. I mean, they're good, I think, in general. They're just slow. So again, yeah, lapses don't do an insane amount of damage. It's just that they take experience, which really sucks. Glancing blow, though. Lucky. Unfortunately, Balon isn't leveled up enough to have that knockback armor, so he's really not the one I want in the front lines. But again, we really just got to focus on taking out the lapses now. I think now I'm going to have Anders move up 1 again. Oh my goodness. He can't still see any of these, so his only move is this seed. But at least he can make sure that we're not getting ambushed. That's really all I can say. That's helpful-ish. I'm going to have Jess stay here and have her just blow all these fuckers up. Wonderful.
Pestilence.
I think that worked out really well. I'm going to check and make sure. Yep, Sidara is still level 6. She just lost 300 experience. Oof. She still has her nickname, though. Just trying to make sure that, you know, after her time is done, that hopefully she can get us a relic. And I'm going to have Tragan try and get a triple. Oh, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. That was less than beautiful. Okay, cool. Again, since Jess is our stealthy person, I'm going to move her up here. Nothing, okay. And Anders is really, really having a tough time. I feel like he's moving slower than usual, so it doesn't even feel like he's a part of the group. Okay, there's a lapse. Which means I'm actually going to move Sidara back, especially since she's lost so much experience already. And we're going to have Tragan go up here and just stay put. And then Balin's going to do the same thing. We're going to play it a little bit smart and a little bit slow, just because, again, our 5th member is slow. So there's not really too much we can do about that. I mean, he's never going to be able to catch up. He basically doesn't even exist for this map. Maybe the sand is slowing him down more. That's all I can think of. I'm going to have Jess just take a shot from here. Nice. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to have everybody wait just to give Anders, you know, one more shot. And yep, another lapse just popped out. Maybe Jess will... Oh no! Fuck! I know that lapse had been alerted of us. Well, fingers crossed.
Now tell me
At least we got the experience back that we just lost. 2 more measly squares for Anders. At this point, I don't want to keep him waiting, so I'm going to start to branch him out a little bit, but not a ton. I'm not going to sprint any of them. But just because at this point, that would be a risky move in and of itself. So I'll have everybody stay relatively put. And, you know, I think we've done well so far for the first half of this mission. We took out 3 lapses, we took out 3 seeds, we've taken out 2 lapses over here, 2 seeds down here too, I'm pretty sure. So I'd say we're probably decently halfway through this battle. We'll pick it up during the next episode. Doing good so far. Just maybe try and get some more kills on Jess and Balon since they're new. And yeah, besides that, I'm super happy with our progress. We're coming up on year 150. We've got a new house in the mix. We've got relics all over the place. So yeah, things are going good. See you next time.